A farmer on their own land who gets into financial difficulty and is faced with the prospect of losing everything is very heart-wrenching. Nobody wants to lose anything, but farmers especially, your land is your everything. And to think that one day if I don't do something different, I may not be able to remain here on these lands, that really makes you branch out into different venues, different ideas, different ways of cropping, whatever the case may be. And we found a lot of success in that. So my family landed here in 1791. I took over when I was 19 years old, and traditionally we've always been a beef farm. Back in the mid-90s, the beef markets weren't that kind to us, so we decided to start going into more of agri-tourism, and part of that was through a strawberry U-pick. That really was the transition of our farm from simply a commodity-based farm to both a commodity and an agri-tourism-based farm. So we've created new events as time's gone on, and here we are today.
So our biggest events here on the farm would be the Baby Animal Festival, the flowers, but our probably most popular would be our nighttime corn maze event during the Halloween season. It's the haunted corn maze. People come from far and wide to see that one. We are down to just event farming now with the corn maze and all the other things. That's what we love to do, and we've finally found the thing that works for us the best financially.
MMP was able to give us advice on focusing on the corn maze. Our partner here, Greg Mosher, I recall saying, keep your dancers dancing and your singers singing. And you should really focus on what makes you money. And that was another turning point for us.
MMP works with a lot of farms across Canada, and I have a fair bit of experience in agriculture as well. When I met Jim, I think financially things were tough. And so talking about cash flows and negotiating with the institution were the first things that we probably helped him with to make that transition and make it successful. So over the years, one of the big focuses have been on understanding financial statements and really bearing down on what makes up the numbers to be able to make a more efficient operation.
Greg and I met through the Chamber of Commerce. We're both past presidents of that. And that's really where our relationship began. At that time, he was offering me advice on things we should do on the farm, how we could lean operations out, things like that. And he was not our accountant. And so eventually he became a trusted voice for us. And we did need a higher level of accounting services. So we had a meeting with Greg and been there for 20 years now. In the early days, when my wife and I, Tricia and I, were first married and things were lean, we thought at that time we may have to sell the farm for retirement purposes. You know, when it comes to retire, that will be our retirement. Since that time, we've turned the ship around. We're doing quite well. And I'm very proud to say we have 2 daughters that plan on taking over when we decide to retire. And they'll be the first female Lorraines to take over this farm since 1791. And I'm very proud of that.
So the plan is that once my parents retire, it'll be my sister and I taking over. Growing up on the farm, I never felt expectations of taking over, but once I became more and more involved, I decided it's something that I love doing and really want to continue.
Some of the things I do here is more so like the background scene of everything. I do a lot of construction, building, designing, marketing, putting together. I see a lot of things for the future. One thing I really like to think about is expansion and the fact of just adding more detail to everything we do now, just bigger and better.
The great thing about being in the agri-tourism farm that we can really make it into whatever we want. So for the future, I'm really excited to see what it could turn into.
River Breeze has been a success because there was some question, there's some financial issues early on, so it's really proud to see them turn that corner, and now we're talking about succession to another generation, so I feel that this is a good thing.